plumberparts.co.uk. Honest reviews and advice. Hold tight, welcome to today's plumberparts.co.uk video. My name is James and this is George, my big G, the cat. Today we're going to be able to look at the tools that we actually take on jobs on a daily basis, okay? Now this video is actually going to be interactive, so make sure you've got your annotations turned on. So I hope you subscribe to our videos, follow us on Facebook and Twitter. I'm just going to sit down now and wait for you to choose the area that you want to go and have a look at. Remember everyone, to hold tight. Can't forget the Apprentice bag. Just click on any of the links around the outside. You can find out more about these gorgeous tools. And look at that beautiful radio there. Huh? Just click on anything. Click on anything you like. That'll take you to the video. George! Wait! Where have you going, man? What are you doing? Wait, George, come here. Right, so there you obviously didn't make a selection, so remember everyone to subscribe, join us on Facebook and Twitter, we upload every week. Thanks ever so much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed all of these bits and bobs. So you want to have a look at the Apprentice Tool Bag? Well, let's have a go. So, we're asked on a daily basis pretty much by apprentices who are just starting out and looking into getting into the world of plumbing, what tools they should have as a starter kit for their plumbing career. Well, firstly, because you're an apprentice, you've got to have a handbag. Come closer and we'll have a quick look and see what you should have inside. So, first coming up and out of the bag, nice and big, set of benders. Obviously, with your set of benders, you're going to want to get yourself a set of 15mm and 22mm dies. Really importantly as well is, obviously, get yourself a tape measure, pretty handy. Nice little hacksaw, always helps. A hammer sandwich, a assorted range of Phillips head or cross-headed screwdrivers, flat-headed screwdrivers. We've got a few different sizes there, that's definitely what I'd have in there. Bits like that. And then, really importantly, decent set spanner, just like that. Decent set of grips. Now you can get slightly smaller or bigger sizes. Try and sort of get a smaller version of that and a bigger version of them, and the same goes for your grips. Pair of long nose pliers always helps, and then 22mm pipe cutter, a 15mm pipe cutter like that, a 28mm pipe cutter like that one there, and if you really want it you can also get one that will go up to 32mm, and very importantly as well, a ruler. On top of all that stuff, you're also going to want a couple of pencils, so make sure you keep everything safe in your handbag so it doesn't get stolen by the other apprentices when you go out for a cigarette. And this is something I did when I was an apprentice. Make sure you put gaffer tape on all your stuff, okay? Just like a little bit of gaffer tape on there to mark it as yours, okay? Because it will get nicked by your boss, it'll get nicked by the other apprentices on the firm, and also it'll get nicked by other people on site. Unfortunately, it's not a great look at humanity, but stuff does get nicked. Anyway, click on the link that's appearing right now and we'll go back to the van and you can have a look at some of the tools that we've also got. So you want to see what's in my hand tools box? Let's have a gander. So then, hand tools, pretty much the tools you're going to use on a daily basis in the plumbing world, in the van. You're going to get these tools out quite a bit. That's why it's often quite a heavy box as well, because it tries to have a little bit of everything in there. You don't want to be on the 4th floor of a house and realise that you've left your 15mm pipe slice in the front of the van or in another box. That's super annoying. So this is pretty much the rough kind of stuff that I've got in my hand tools box. Right, so I've got my torch, my little torch just there, very nice. I've pretty much divided my box up in using a little bit of wood section in here, because I found that if everything's just laying on each other it just falls apart, and also these rubbery band jobbies here never last very long, so that's how it is. So I divided it up into a few different sections. We've got the pipe cutting section down here, so I've got all my pipe cutters, my 28, my 22, my 32s, I've got my olive remover, I've got my 15mm pipe slice, and then I've got duplicate pipe slices from ones that I found in lofts, which is where they always seem to be getting lost. I've also got much smaller pipe cutters here for 10mm, all the way down to 6mm pretty much, so that's really handy for that there. So that's what I've got in that little compartment there. Stanley knife gets used loads. Different types, in fact this should be in here, different types of spanners. I've got also socket spanners here, like O-ring jobbies like that. Little pencil, they just get about. Backhoe here, backhoe spanner there, so they're really good. And that bit there's just got all that in it. As you can see, I've also got a very small set of long nose pliers that are always handy. Just basically loads of different types, little grips. In fact, they should be there as well. This is getting annoying. We've got all my different types of screwdrivers here, Phillips head, cross head, slot headed, loads of different types, tiny little types like that. Small set of mole grips, always handy if you want to prop a little bit of pipe up when you're soldering. I've got my scraper in here for my silicone in jobs, scrapes off old silicone off showers. And then, oh god, that's hard to get in, got to change the blade on that. Also I've got my pipe formers in here as well for my 15mm and 22mm pipe when I use my pipe bender. I've got a little set of Allen keys, but I've got a bigger set in the main box of the van. Loads of sealing ways up here, oil valve and oil pressure gauge in there, bit of Loctite as well, always handy. And then for the main tools, we've got a hammer, set of grips. I've got bigger sets of grips elsewhere, a little ruler as well, a little bit of poly pipe. I've got tube spanners as well for the taps. I've got, most importantly of all, electrical tester. We don't want to be getting killed while we're at work. 3 different types of colour for electrical stuff. Set of gloves, file, plastic pipe cutter, radiator removal tool, larger set of grips, massive slot-headed screwdriver uses basically every day, can be used for anything up to a chisel, up to something to poke apprentices with, and also obviously for undoing massive screws. Massive Phillips head screw as well, or cross-headed. Little level in here, just comes in handy. It does get beaten about, but it gives you a good idea. The claw, another pipe cutter that's probably blunt, tube spanner for bathroom taps and basin taps, different removers as well here for radiator stuff. Then in the fronts I've got my silicone formers that I always have. I've lost a few of them lately. Replacement blades for this beast here. A tape measure. You must have a tape measure. In the end pocket, basically save your bacon bits, okay? Any major problems, cut that off, you get it sorted. Tap reseating tool as well. Hep2O removers, bits and bobs like that. Square key as well. I've also got one for the gas cupboards in here somewhere. Loads of little bits and bobs. Pressure vessel tester, so we can test the air pressure on an expansion vessel. So there you go, you've seen pretty much what I carry in my toolbox every day. I mean, it does change. And basically that is due to something I call Friday fever, where you're on a job, it's getting to about sort of, you know, about 12:30 and you want to get home, so you just sling everything in the back of the van. It doesn't go where it belongs because you're in a rush, you want to get down the pub, you want to get to the gym maybe on a Friday arvo, or you want to get down the bookies and get that accumulator on, I don't know. But anyway, so now you know what I've got in my toolbox. Click on the button that's appearing right now and that will take you back to the original van video. See you in a sec, people. Hold up! Ah, so you want to have a look at the fittings that I have. Well, look no further. Box number 1. Everyone's got a different way of doing this. I like to have the briefcase version for when I sort of go to jobs, because I don't want to take out individual little fittings out of bays, put them in a bucket and then take them up to the job. If I take this briefcase up here, this is my 15mm briefcase. I've got all the elbows, all the straights and all the T's, all the little valves, all the olives, all the reducers, everything I need for solder, end feed, elbow stuff, okay? Now the same goes for 28mm. I've got plenty of 28mm bits and bobs in here. Loads of random straights, things like that. For some reason I don't know how, but lots of really bad like push fit fittings that have been in there for years in here. I've got some 22mm compression fittings as well. Don't know why they're there, they shouldn't be. This is the 28mm box. Let's see what's in the 22mm box. Right, 22mm box. Oh yeah, look, full of what you use most, basically. Loads and loads of elbows. I seem to have run out of straights actually, which brings me over to my backup box that I have that's just full of everything, and most of it's Yorkshire. And I don't really use that much because I don't really like Yorkshire fittings. But I've got a big box there, backed up Yorkshire fittings, ready to go if ever I should need it. In fact, I don't like that box, that's getting changed. Screws box, it's kind of getting a bit out of date really, because now I have my screws sort of put in little individual boxes like the Riesler cutter ones, that they stay in those spare boxes. Another 22mm pipe slice that's just found its way about. Loads of plasterboard fittings, bits and bobs like that. For some reason there's an oil nozzle here as well. Big chunky screws, bits and bobs like that. So that's quite handy, but don't really use it as much anymore. Should probably sort that out. So that's all our storage stuff. That's all our little boxes of bits and bobs. That's like quick to get at. As you can see, it's right in the corner there. Excellent stuff, I'm sure you'll agree. So anyway, if you want to find out what else we've got, you can go back to the main van area by pressing the button that's appearing right now. And I'll see you back at the van. Hold tight. Ah, so you want to have a look at the soldering bag. Woohoo! Hell yeah! So then, the soldering bag, it's kind of a duplicate bag as well to the hand tools bag, but it's obviously got more soldering stuff in it. So the obvious thing we start off with is we've got our soldering gun here, like so. For some reason, this is in the wrong box. These should be in the big hand tools box. That's where they're going to go in a minute. Shouldn't be in there. We've obviously got our heat mat. Well, it's seen better days, put it that way, but give me a heat mat that lasts more than 5 minutes and I'll give you about £1,000,000. Flux that I've taped up to stop the flux coming out. My wet rag as well when you're cleaning down. Another brush. We've got lead flux here and lead free flux. I hardly ever use lead flux on anything. I mean, even if it's on a heating system and you know that it's not going to get near any potable water, basically just use this. I mean, I find this runs better now as well. I've got myself, for some reason, my plumber's mates in here. Loads more of this sort of stuff. I mean, you're getting an idea now of how, when you're at work, stuff stays organised at the start of the week for till about 12 o'clock on Monday morning. Yet again, another tape measure. They get about jointing compound as well. I've got my little torch flame detector that basically you clip it on here and then your pipe runs through there and you can kind of heat it up and it gives you a little bit more protection if you're soldering near a wall. That's kind of handy. Loads of off-cutting bits of copper pipe that always come in handy when you're sitting by a radiator and you need that little inch bit to go up from the elbow into the TRV. You all know what I'm on about. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've got in my soldering bag, because that's what it's for. It's just for soldering. So in it all goes. Press on the button now and you will go back to the van where you can make your selection and have a look at more of our tools. Hold tight. Ah, so you want to see what storage stuff I've got? Well, look no further. Here we go. Number one, Vito Pro Pack tote bag. And in the vein of obviously doing like proper reviews on things, I've actually been using these bags for the last sort of 3 or 4 months, and really impressed with them. They've got proper hard sides to them, nice little carry handles on the sides, really nice comfortable thing. You've got 2 different sizes as well. I've got the smallish one, and also I've got the much bigger one in the back there. Both of them basically have good carry handles on there, so if you want to put the strap on it that comes with them, you can. I don't usually, I'm more of a woman. I like to carry my bags like that when I go to a job. Hi guys. So yeah, I really like it. They really are quite tough. So I've got that one there. And I've got this much bigger one here. I mean, you can just pull them about, throw them around, and they'll be quite happy. Also in the back of the van I've got some briefcases and stuff that I actually put my fittings in. They're not proper briefcases, but they're plastic boxes in the shape of a briefcase. I've got some heavy duty curver boxes in the back. I'll show you what they hold now. Basically, I don't think they're going to last 5 minutes, but what they carry pretty much drill bits, consumable stuff, loads of more drill bits, O-rings, yeah, more O-rings, tap splitter that I've never used, auger bits, you know, hole bits, bits and bobs like that, loads of stuff. And obviously slightly larger-ish SDS bits, I guess. General bits and bobs like that. We all know what vans are like. At the start of the week it's a dream, and at the end of the week it's a nightmare. Right, so there's a look at some of the storage stuff I've got. Click on the button, you'll go back to the van, then you can choose some more tools. See you in a sec. Hold tight! So you want to see what power tools I've got? I bet a lot of you old boys clicked on that. Let's have a look at number 1, the Fane Multimaster. Hell yeah! Basically saves the bacon of every plumber in the country. If you got one of these, no floorboard in the world is difficult for you to bring up. No little bit of skirting is all that hard for you to remove out the way when you put that vanity unit back to the wall, that sort of thing. No little bit of grout is difficult to get out because you can change the adaptations on these beasts to go over to grout. I've got both types. I've got the 240 volt type and I've also got the 14 volt battery type. So when I'm up in a loft or something, I don't need to worry about running the cable up there. This thing is class, alright, they're brilliant. In fact, all the tools that I take in the van on a daily basis aren't there, you know, because I want them for fun or anything like that. They're there because they're reliable. I need them to work every time I come out. I mean, you know exactly what it's like, so it's one of those things. So number 1 on the list for me, and also because it was nearest the back door, was my Fane. They're great as well for cutting through nails and bits of copper pipe that are just versatile. If it could pour a pint, it'd be even better. Testo analyzer. Had a real hard life, basically. It is calibrated. It's just its calibration stick on the side. Obviously, if you're going to be doing boilers, flue gas analysis, stuff like that, this is a piece of equipment that you really cannot do it without. Otherwise, you'll end up in prison. So, you know, if you want to be getting cuddles from Big Bobby McGraw while he uses his analyzer on you, then don't have an analyzer. Right, we've got here as well. Now, this is a beast, okay? I actually bought this second-hand on eBay. It is a Makita Coryell drill, 110 volts, so obviously it has to come with a 110 volt transformer. This thing will wang in core bits like 6-inch big, you know. In fact, I was thinking about robbing a diamond jewellers in London once. My God, tell you what, those guys had some guts, didn't they, drilling through that wall. That's mental. Yeah, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, cool bit there, bah. Right, then I've got my bags. These are in bags basically because I use them regularly. I'm going to do some separate reviews on these tools actually because they are really good. I've got my Ryobi power station. These are great, okay? You can charge up to 6 batteries in one go. You don't have to wait to charge up one battery. So you have 6 on at one go. Also, you can bracket it up to the wall of your van, so that's really class, I like that. I also got myself a little second fix nail gun as well. Works on here, doesn't have gas on it, just puts those little tacks in. I find it's really handy for building up bits that are broken or for putting floorboards back down. It's good for that sort of stuff. Got myself a little combi drill, little Ryobi Beastie combi drill, so that's really good. Oh, I'm going to put all this gear. Now, I love this. This is great as well. It goes so well with the Fane. What I like about it is, obviously it's a jigsaw, but instead of having the old way where you use the trigger to adjust the speed, you've got a little knoblet just there. So, I really like that, I don't know why. The tools are sexy. And then I've got my little, this is basically a little SDS bit. It's quite handy for like popping radiators up on. It takes little mini SDS bits that are really good, so I love that as well. So that's some of the tools, but then I do have backup tools elsewhere. I've got my circular saw as well. That's really, I mean, obviously for bringing floorboards up, stuff like that's really handy. And I've got my other SDS drill here as well. It gets used quite a bit. And I've got my impact driver as well. So Plenty of plumbing tools there. I think that's why people like breaking into plumbers' vans. In fact, Chippy's vans. God, the amount of tools they must have in there. Anyway, last and by no means least, this is just such a sexy drill. If you're first fixing timber frame houses and you've got to run all your bits and bobs through there, this is the best angle drill on the market, in my opinion. I mean, I haven't used any others, so it's not exactly an educated opinion, but that's what I think. This thing is brilliant. They're really, really good. In fact, I am going to go through a little different review of all my tools, you know, that's nice. Right, so there we go. That's like pretty much the array of power tools that I carry with this every day. If you consider a vacuum cleaner to be a power tool, then I'm afraid you're a tool. It's not. It's just not. It's not in the... How can it be in the ballpark of one of these? Anyway, click on the link that's appearing now and you'll go back to the van where you can find out about more of the tools that we carry on a daily basis. Hold tight! Ah, so you want to know about the most important thing of all about what you've got in the van? About access and how you keep things clean? Well, let's start off with Henry the Hoover. So boom, Henry Hoover. He's been with me since I was an apprentice, I think. Oh no, actually no, I burnt the other one out. I left it out in the rain. So yeah, this is Henry Hoover's... don't be sad, mate. I won't leave you out in the rain. Why is it they had to put a face on Henry Hoover? It just... I don't know, it makes him a Henry, doesn't it? I've got a George in the back as well. George is sort of round the corner. He gets used a lot less because he's a wet vac. And it's kind of defeatist as a plumber to have a wet vac in your van, isn't it? Let's face it. Also, you might wonder where my steps are. Well, I've got some steps here. I've got these beasts, which I must say are very handy. They're small, they extend up to just over 3 metres. They can take an absolute vast amount of weight as well, and you know, I'm really, really happy with these. So they fit underneath in the bit of the van, and if you watch them, look at that. I will lift you. And as you can see from the little clippy whips on the front, we can actually push these back down. So we've got little clips on the front there that make it so they really easily come down, just like so. That's what I like about these. I can get up 3 metres and pretty much have, you know, a set of bits and bobs straight away. Okay, you know, I can get a bit set of steps, get up nice and high straight away. I can easily store it in my little under compartment in the van here, like that. Worryingly unopened as well is my dust sheets. I've got loads of dust sheets. There's loads more up there. Loads of towels as well. I have them in buckets. This is kind of the miscellaneous part, you know, of this video. So yeah, loads of dust sheet, loads of buckets, 2 hoovers, one's a wet vac, and also a great set of steps. The reason actually I like having those sets of steps more than others is because they're easy to get up into lofts with. I don't have to have it on top of my van, okay, which sort of, I guess helps with fuel consumption slightly, but more importantly, they don't get nicked. And also, I know, just nice and light, nice and easy. I do have other sets of steps, so if I do need them, I can sling them on the van, you know, for different types of jobs. But they're the ones that come with me every day, and yeah, so you know, really happy with that. So you can press the button that's appearing now and go back to the front of the van again, where you can see more tools that we use on a daily basis. Hold tight! So there we go, that's pretty much it. There's obviously things that I haven't covered. I've got 2 sets of spirit levels that I love to use. I've got my little 600 radiator ones. I like these, they're called radiator ones because they actually have a mark in the centre. So they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like that. Either peavy. Obviously I carry 2 large extension leads. I've got a 50 metre one and a 25 metre extension lead that's really handy. I've got my 110 volt transformer. I've got probably about 100 bloody metres. I've probably got about 100 metres of 15mm hose as well. I also carry 15mm pipe, 22mm pipe, 28mm pipe, a tiny little bit of that 3/8 that we all know we're going to come across, and also to go with that, some of those 3/8 olives as well that are really handy to have. You could carry loads of stuff in the van. I mean, you've probably noticed that I don't have my power flusher in there. That's because it lives in the shed and only comes out when I've got a power flushing job to do, or when we're doing a new install, that sort of thing. It's not the sort of thing I want to carry around with me all the time. It's top heavy, it falls over all the time, I get angry with it, and you don't want to see me get angry with tools. It's embarrassing, okay, it really is. We've all been in the back of the van and gone completely mental, right? And it's like that time when you're driving down the road and you go around the corner and you hear like, and you're like, no, there you go. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. It's given you a better idea about what we keep in our van on a daily basis. I hope especially if you're an apprentice and you are looking for some tools, that we've given you a hand as to know what tools to buy or to get in as a startup. I mean, it takes years to sort of gather this amount up, not just because of the money, but also suddenly you realise you've got a need for something, or you see a bloke at work who's got one already, you're really jealous and you buy one yourself. So yeah, me and George are saying goodbye now. George has had a brilliant time watching me film all this, haven't you, George? Yeah. So there we go, me and George are saying goodbye, signing off for another week of Plumber Parts, and I'll see you in the next video. What do we say, George? Say it, go on. What do we say? Hold tight. See you later, mate. Between you and me as well, I've also forgotten about a box that's right in the depths. It is easy to get at if you get to the sliding door, but as you can see at the moment, there's a fence down near there. Basically, it's the box that has my massive grips in it, my immersion heater spanners, hammer and bolsters, big Stilsons, big grips, I'll say that. Basically, big, nasty tools. And they all lay there in the bottom in the dark, away from all the namby-pamby tools like, yeah, it's one of them, isn't it? All right, okay, see you soon, people. Hold tight. Radio then, all right. Good choice, good choice. George particularly loves this choice, don't you, George? Yeah, nah. George, got to wait for the drop. Wait for the drop, George. Wait for the drop. Here we go, George, you ready? Here we go. No, I don't dance like that at clubs. So yeah, that's the radio. Click on the link that's appearing now to go back to the van to find out about more tools that we use on a daily basis. See you in a sec. Hold tight.